I went in not expecting too much from Street Fighter 6's World Tour mode. I guessed it would be fun, I guessed I would enjoy it. However, I've played a good amount of the Yakuza games. An open world action game with melee combat and wacky minigames isn't an alien concept to me. And Street Fighter 6 is a fighting game, a genre that has typically prioritized gameplay above all else. If the gameplay wasn't going to be what made the biggest impression on me, then what was? The writing. To my surprise, the writing. Specifically the dialogue from the legendary fighters, the main cast of Street Fighter 6, who you have the chance to train under and bond with as your created character in the World Tour mode. This is where these characters are fleshed out, where their humanity takes shape. Here, their charm is allowed to flourish. Not in the badass action hero win screens and win quotes, but in the mundane text messages and face-to-face chats. Take Ryu, for example. Mr. Serious Karate Man. Mr. The Battle is Everything. Mr. Street Fighter. I've always liked Ryu. I thought his intense dedication to mastering martial arts was cool. But that's it. That's all Ryu was to me. Everything I knew about Ryu could be summed up by his Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo arcade mode ending, where he ditches the award ceremony of a tournament he's just won to hunt for the next battle. One single characteristic was all it took to make Ryu my favorite in the franchise. After all, what other characteristics does Ryu have? Enter World Tour mode, which shows that while, yes, Ryu is Karate Man, this performer does have a life off stage. Incoming spoilers for Ryu's Bond interactions and unlockable artwork. World Tour mode shows that Ryu finds value in his travels beyond just fighting. There's a love of meeting new people, of eating new foods, of experiencing different cultures, a love of humanity. Can you believe it? Behind that stoic face we see in regular fighting game gameplay, love and an open-mindedness that is hard to fully express in the heat of combat. He tries out different clothes, he's inspired by you to learn how to use a phone, going from well-intentioned grandparent-type texts to eventually texting and spamming stickers like a young'un, or at least a surprisingly tech-savvy grandparent. One time, after he told me about how much he hates spiders, I joked that he should try eating some, and he actually considered it. For a moment, then decided he couldn't do it, but I'm impressed that he considered it. My point is, Ryu is unexpectedly a fun person. No one expects Ryu to be funny, but he is. I mean, he's usually unintentionally funny, but it comes from his genuine enthusiasm and interest in things he knows nothing about. Like, if I asked if phones had to take an IQ test to be considered a smartphone, it would probably be annoying, because I'm clearly just making an easy joke. But when Ryu says it, it's funny because he's absolutely serious. And his texts are great. He tries so hard to learn how to use the phone instead of using his age or whatever else as an excuse to decide that he doesn't need to. Whether it's about something completely new to him, such as smartphones, or about something he's spent his entire life mastering, such as fighting, Ryu embraces learning. And I like that a lot. World Tour mode transforms Ryu from a cool action figure into a guy that would be fun to hang out with. This is true for all of Street Fighter's fighters that you train under in World Tour mode, be it Luke telling me about his RGB setup on his gaming PC like he's a co-worker in the company's IT department, or Zangief making a surprisingly profound point about the value of human appearances. Street Fighter 6's World Tour mode gives depth to the game's characters that we can't really get from an arcade mode ending or a win quote. This fullness of personality makes the Street Fighter world so much more appealing. It makes everyone within it so much more vibrant. In the end, it's the subtleties and intricacies that make the difference between a character you like and a character you love. The price was high to make my friendships grow. I grinded part-time jobs to buy enough gifts to bestow. But the true cost wasn't the money, because when I sleep tonight, I know my dreams will be haunted by Blono.